Good afternoon, Facebook friends. Chef Eddie back in the kitchen again. Due to popular demand and the way my stomach feels tonight, we're going to have another steak night broiled in the oven. So let me get right down to it. We're going to get started right away. We're going to show you. I just come back from the store. This is what you got to have. Take a look at this. This is a top sirloin filet. That is one big filet right there. We got a beautiful porterhouse all ready to go. I got some peppers and onions and some mushrooms. We're going to throw some white mushrooms in there. I got some salad I'm going to throw together. And I got the portobello mushrooms with crab meat stuffing that I'm going to be cooking up. Here's the pan. We're going to be using our black peppercorn, our oil, and our Weber Chicago steak. So let's get this thing going right now. I'm going to show you exactly what's going on today. I hope everybody had a fantastic day. We're already in Tuesday. First thing we want to do before we get started, you want to wash your hands. Get it going here. Dump a little oil here in the pan. Get it all ready to go. You know, I had so many cards, emails, text messages about those steaks I made last week. And you know what? We're just going to go ahead and do another one because Mr. Sunshine's hungry today. And when Mr. Sunshine's hungry, things are going to be taking place. Take a look at that beautiful porterhouse. Nice, big, and thick. First thing we're going to do, stick that right in there. Take the other one out. I want you to take a look at that custom-made filet mignon. Take a look at that filet right there. That's how it's looking today. I'm going to throw that in there. We're going to season it. Throw some black peppercorn on there. Give it a nice, good couple of cranks. Flip it around. Put it on there. Nice. Couple more cranks. And you want to make sure you put it all the way around. You want to get it around the edges. Now, we can stick this in a pan so I can sear it 4 minutes on each side just to give it, but you know what? I think the broiler did a much better job. You know, we can sit there and fry it in a pan and do all of that kind of work, but right now, we're going to do it this way. And anytime you handle any kind of meat or poultry or fish, you always want to make sure you keep washing your hands. You don't want to be spreading it around everywhere. All right, so I think what we're going to do, we're going to take our peppers, our assortment here that they made me. It's got the sweet peppers, it's got mushrooms in there, green peppers. We're just going to dump it right in there. Ready to round. Just like that. We'll take our mushrooms. Put some nice mushrooms in there. And we're just about ready to go into the broiler. Now, my butcher says, Eddie, you got to try these portobello mushrooms with the crab meat stuffing. I said, what's going on here? I said, well, let's take a look here. He says, Eddie, you got to check it out. Well, he said, you know what? We're going to let you try it. Take the lid off. I want you to take a look at it. Beautiful. Look at those portobello mushrooms with all the fixins filled up with crab meat with a nice piece of cheese on top. 350 degrees for 20 minutes, and that's going to be ready to go. Now, we'll get our salad together shortly. Right now, I'm going to bring it over here, show you what our meal looks like. Take a look at what that looks like in there, huh? We're ready to go. It's all ready to go. We're going to put it in a broiler, and we'll sit there, and we're going to get it going. As a matter of fact, we might as well just go ahead and get it in that broiler right now. Get it over here. Here's our broiler today. Get it up. And you get it up close. You want to have about 3 or 4 inches from the top there. You see that? That's how you want to get it so that it'll sear it right all the way around on that meat. And as Mr. Sunshine puts the salad together, it already came with the lettuce, it came with croutons, the dressing. I added a little bit of black peppercorn onto that and a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Take a look at that beautiful salad. That's how it goes in sunny South Florida. We're sitting here waiting for the meat to broil on one side. We'll be flipping it over here shortly after I check it to make sure that the one side is done. Let's take a little look inside and see what's going on here. Ooh, look at that beautiful broiling there. And we have our portobello mushrooms down here ready to go. And they're still cooking, so we're going to keep letting that cook in there. And we'll be back shortly. I want you to take a look at that goodness right there. Look at that beautiful porterhouse and the huge fillet sitting in there. And that's only the one side. We got to turn it around and just give it another, cut it on the other side and let it burn right into a beautiful, delicious steak. And there are the beautiful portobello mushrooms with all of the crab meat in there with the cheese and a fantastic tomato. Take a look at all of that. And we're going to go in there. Let's take a look inside here. Ooh, look at those beautiful, look at that. All cooking in there real nice. Looking really good there. A little bit more, a little longer, and we should be good to go. As I just took it right out of there, take a look at this. And now what we're going to do, we're going to put a pat of butter on each one. Stick it back in there. We're going to let that cook right on there, and it bastes right down into the meat. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at that. We'll let the butter baste on there. We'll take the juices of all of the vegetables. We're going to stick it on there. Marinate it right there into the steaks. All that goodness right here in Chef Eddy's kitchen. No question about it. Let that soak. And we got our beautiful portobello mushrooms there. And everything is looking just the way it should be. But I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Chef Eddy in the kitchen. I'm going to sit down, get my steak sauce here. I got my A1. I got some of my... Oh! Real quick, did any of you know where the word Worcestershire sauce came from? Huh? Everybody said, you know, it's a good question. It's been a question that everyone's been pondering. Well, Mr. Sunshine, Chef Eddy's going to explain it to you. You know, years and years ago, people thought it came from England, it came from the UK. Wrong. The fact of the matter is it was a bunch of guys all gathered around, and they were all cooking this meat on this spit. And this one guy dumped his sauce on here, and the other guy took a bite, and he says, "What's this here sauce? What's this here sauce?" And that's how Worcestershire sauce came about. I hope you enjoyed the show. Have yourself a great evening. God loves you, and Eddy does too. Woo!